our last video, we knocked out the first 19 questions of section 4. Today, we are finishing up the rest of the section, starting from question 20 all the way to question 38, including those student-produced grid and questions at the end. Make sure you have your calculator ready and let's jump right in. Alright, let's start with question 20. Here we have a store discount and tax scenario. A customer receives a 20% discount on the original price of an item, and then pays an 8% sales tax on that discounted price, resulting in a final total of P dollars. The question asks us to express the original price in terms of P. Let us break this down. Step by step, working backwards. First, if you get 20% off, you are paying 80% of the original price. In decimal form, that is 0.80 times the original price. Next, adding an 8% sales tax on top of that price means multiplying by 108. So the equation for the final price P becomes P equals 1.08 times 0.8 times the original price. Now, to get the original price all by itself on one side, simply divide P by the product of those two decimal factors. Original equals P divided by open parenthesis, 0.80 close parenthesis times open parenthesis 1.08 close parenthesis. Looking at your choices, that matches choice D perfectly. And that is how you handle chain percentages. Moving on to question 21, we have a table about dream recall. And we need to find the probability that a person chosen at random is from group Y, given that they recalled at least one dream. Pay close attention to that word given. It narrows down our total population. First, look at the row totals for people who recalled at least one dream, 39. People recalled 1 to 4 dreams, and 125 recalled 5 or more. That gives us a total denominator of 39 plus 125, which is 164 people. Now, within those same categories, how many belong to group Y? We have 11 plus 68, which equals 79. So our probability is simply 79 over 164. That aligns right with choice C. Now for question 22. This one asks for the average annual change in the agriculture budget from 2008 to 2010. Looking at the table, the budget in 2008 was $708,000, and in 2010 it grew to $106,000. First, find the total increase. Subtract 358,708 from 488,106. To get $129,398,000. Since this increase happened over a 2-year period, divide 129,398 by 2. Which gives 64,699,000. Converting that into full numbers gives about $65,000 per year. That brings us straight to choice B. Question 23 builds on the same table. It asks which program's 2007 budget is closest to the same fraction of its 2010 budget as human resources. First, let us calculate the fraction for human. Resources 4,051.50 divided by 5 and 9, 21, 379. Gives roughly 0.684. Now, test the options to see which gives a ratio close to 0.684. If you divide education's 2007 budget by its 2010 budget to 164,607 divided by 3,836, you get approximately 0.719, which is by far the closest match among the choices. So choice B is our correct answer. Let us check out question 24, a circle equation problem. The general equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. We are given the center h comma k equals 0 comma 4. So our equation looks like x squared plus y minus 4 squared equals r squared. To find r squared, use the distance formula squared with the point 4 over 3 comma 5. R squared equals 4 over 3 squared plus 5 minus 4 squared, which is 16 over 9 plus 1, equaling 25 over 9. Substituting r squared back in gives x squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 25 over 9. That matches choice A perfectly. Question 25 is a quick percent change problem. Type A trees produced 20% more apples than Type B trees, and Type A produced 144 apples. Since Type A is 20% more than Type B, we can write 120 times Type B equals 144. To solve for Type B, simply divide 144 by 120 on your calculator. You get 120. That makes choice B the winner. For question 26, we are estimating an earthworm population across a 10 meter by 10 meter field, which has a total area of 100 square meters. Researchers sampled 10 regions of 1 square meter each. If you sum up the earthworms in the sample, you get around 500 worms, meaning an average of about 150 worms per square meter. To estimate the whole field, multiply 150 by the total area of 100 square meters. 150 times 100 equals 15,000. So choice C is the correct answer. Question 27 gives us a quadratic height equation. H equals minus 4.9t squared plus 25t. We want to find when the projectile hits the ground, meaning height h equals 0. Set the equation to 0. 0 equals minus 4.9t squared plus 25 to factor out. T times minus 4.9t plus 25 equals 0. One solution is t equals 0, which is launch time. For the other, solve minus 4.9t plus 25 equals 0, which gives t equals 25 divided by 4.9, approximately 5.1 seconds. Rounded to one decimal place, that is 5.0 seconds. Choice D is your answer. In question 28, we are looking at a system of linear inequalities. I is greater than or equal to 2x plus 1, and y is greater than half x minus 1. The question asks which quadrant contains no solutions. If you sketch these two lines, both have positive slopes and pass through the upper region of the coordinate plane. The shaded solution region, where both inequalities overlap, covers quadrants 1, 2, and 3. The bottom right quadrant, quadrant 4, has 0 overlap. Therefore, choice C is the correct pick. Question 29 tests the polynomial remainder theorem. We are given a polynomial p of x, where p of 3 equals minus 2. The theorem states that if a polynomial p of x is divided by x minus a, the remainder is p of a. Here, since p of 3 equals minus 2, dividing p of x by x minus 3 must give a remainder of minus 2. That makes choice D the true statement. To finish the multiple choice section, question 30 asks for an equivalent form of y equals x squared minus 2x minus 15 that reveals the vertex as constants. Whenever you hear reveals the vertex, think vertex form. We get there by completing the square. Y equals x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 15 minus 1, which equals x minus 1 squared minus 16. Here, the vertex 1 comma minus 16 is clearly visible right in the equation. That aligns with choice D. Alright, now we are moving into the grid-in section. No choices here, just straightforward problem solving. Starting off with question 31. A worker packs between 12 and 18 dozen donuts per hour, and the total order is 72 dozen. We need one possible amount of time it could take to finish. At the slowest rate of 12 per hour, 72 divided by 12 equals 6 hours. At the fastest rate of 18 per hour, 72 divided by 18 equals 4 hours. Any time between 4 and 6 hours works. You can grid in 4, 5, or 6. Question 32 gives us a budget inequality for a delivery truck. 4,500 plus 14x is less than or equal to 6,000. Subtract 4,500 from both sides to get 14x is less than or equal to 1 if I divide 4,500 by 14 and you get x is less than or equal to 10714. Since the truck can only carry whole boxes, the maximum number is 107. Grid in 107. In question 33, we look at the line graph to find the fraction of 2011 shipments accounted for by 2008 shipments. In 2008, shipments were 100 million, and in 2011, they were 160 million. The fraction is 100 over 160, which simplifies to 5 over 8. You can grid in 5, 8, or 0.625. Question 34 asks for the total 30-minute appointment slots available over Tuesday and Wednesday. 2 full days equal 48 hours. Since there are 2 30-minute slots in every hour, multiply 48 by 2 to get 96 total slots. Grid in 96. For question 35, we have a cylinder with a volume of 72 pi cubic yards and a height of 8 yards. The formula for the volume of a cylinder is V equals pi times r squared times h. Plugging in our values gives 72 p equals pi times r squared times 8. We can cancel out pi from both sides, which leaves us with 72 equals 8 times r squared. Divide 72 by 8 to get r squared equals 9. Taking the square root gives us a radius of 3. Question 36 asks where h of x equals 1 divided by open parenthesis x minus 5 close parenthesis squared plus 4 times open parenthesis x minus 5 close parenthesis plus 4 is undefined. A fraction is undefined when its denominator equals 0. Let u equal x minus 5. The denominator becomes u squared plus fet u plus fet equals 0, which means u plus 2 squared equals 0. So u equals minus 2. Substitute back x minus 5 equals minus 2, which gives x equals 3. Grid in 3. Finally, questions 37 and 38 deal with Jessica and Tyshawn's savings accounts, both starting at $100. Question 37 asks for the value of x in Jessica's formula. 100 times x to the power of t with 2% annual interest. A 2% increase means multiplying by 1 plus 0.02, which equals 1.02, so grid in 1.02. Question 38 asks how much more interest Tyshawn earns after 10 years compared to Jessica. Tyshawn earns 2.5% and Jessica earns 2%. Let us calculate both balances after 10 years. For Jessica, 100 times 1.02 to the 10th power is approximately $121.90. For Tyshawn, 100 times 1.025 to the 10th power is approximately $128.01. Send. Subtract Jessica's total from Tyshawn's 128.01 minus 121.90 equals 6 more 11. Tyshawn earns $6.11 more. Grid in 611, and that is a complete wrap on section 4 of practice test 1. Thank you so much for sticking with me through the entire section. If these explanations made SAT Math clearer for you, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends who are also preparing for the test. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or if there is a specific test you would like me to solve next. Thank you so much for watching, keep practicing hard, and I will see you in the next video.